Hi. What's up, Simple Squad? This is the MCZX here, and I'm here to bring you another episode of Simply Complicated Universe because the world is mighty complicated right now. We are going to try our best, our very best, to ease you through it because a lot of stuff's going on right now. I'm your best friend that you didn't know you had on the internet. Also, the lover boy that never was due to facts. That could change one day. I don't know when that's going to change, though. Sure would be nice for it to change. But here we are, another episode. And no Rizu. Or Crash Out in the Jits. Where's everybody, you might be asking? Where is everyone? Well, Rizu couldn't make it. Unfortunately, stuff was going on and he just couldn't make it to the recording, and that's okay. And Crash Out in the Jits, aka Drew Orleans, is on fatherhood duty. My boy just did his baby shower with his lovely, lovely wife. Shout out to them. Hope everything went well. Sorry I couldn't make it. Things is expensive and, money ain't funny, but money must be spent accordingly. And I would have, but you know how things are. Stuff happens, and then you're like, oh man, I can't afford this. And now my poor friends are mad at me. I doubt they're mad at me. I'm sure it was a great time. Everyone had fun. Shout out to them. I also want to let everyone in on a little secret. With this episode. So please mind the microphone. I am not responsible if the microphone does these weird spikes and makes me sound like I'm in a microwave or I'm underwater or something. But by the next episode, I will have a new microphone where that problem doesn't happen anymore. I have been playing with my interface and my controller and mixer. I've been making sure everything works there, but there may be points in this episode where the microphone spikes and you hear this weird staticky noise or underwater noise. It might be an underground noise. Who knows? But I wanted to let y'all in on that. And also another little secret. I did record another podcast, but I did not like the quality of that one because the microphone kept spiking over and over and over and over again to the point where I could not salvage it. I was going to originally post that, but something told me, hey, maybe you should just re-record it and try again and hope for the best here. And that's what I'm doing. So I have a couple things we're going to talk about today. I think I'm entertaining enough to hold your attention for at least 50 minutes to an hour. Bless you to... he just sneezed. Yep, he sneezed. And maybe you guys heard it. If you did, cool. If you didn't, it's fine. So, I feel like I'm entertaining enough to hold your attention for 50 minutes to an hour. And I'm going to try to do my due diligence. Words. They're all coming at the wrong... What are we trying to say here? I don't know. I'm going to try to do my best, okay, to give you an entertaining episode. We have a couple topics we're going to talk about. I'm going to just run them down to you. We're going to talk about grudges. We're going to talk about downplaying. We're going to talk about minding the business that minds you. It's free. Everyone should do that. We're also going to talk about this institution I heard about. It's called Willowbrook. It is maddening. We'll get there when it's time to get there. We'll recap a bit of the Switch 2. I don't want to talk too much about it because I know Rizu has thoughts, and we're probably going to talk about that some more on the next episode. Or if Nintendo decides to just give us more information by the time we do the next recording. And this is WrestleMania week. WrestleMania is upon us, and it's going to be a great time for wrestling fans. I tell people who aren't into pro wrestling all the time, if you aren't, the best time to jump in is around WrestleMania, the Royal Rumble, or SummerSlam. WrestleMania this year is stacked. I think everyone should find some form of wrestling they like NXT Stand and Deliver is also on Saturday. It's a stacked show. It's a stacked card. It's a lot. We're going to be eating really good as wrestling fans. Especially not just WWE, but there's a bunch of indie wrestling happening in Vegas as well. But we'll get there. Okay? Are you ready for the ride? Are you strapped in? Or are you ready? Because I don't want to start if you're not ready. I don't want to. Look. I don't want to do anything that you aren't comfortable with. All right? Are you ready? I hope you are. Here we go. It's time to talk about grudges and why you should keep some and leave others behind. Now, a general rule of thumb is to not keep a grudge. Right? Be a bigger person, let it go, let bygones be bygones. But there are some things, and as I talk, I see my phone with a spam risk that's getting declined. All this is staying in, by the way, because we're just doing it. We're freestyling. I got topics, we're going to go. But, excuse me. As I was saying, there's sometimes where the grudge must stay up. It has to stay up for your own sanity and for the safety of a person. I feel if it cannot be healed, whatever the situation is, it can't be healed through talking, mediation, whatever the case may be. If it's a situation that calls for, I'll never forgive you, that grudge is staying up. It's just staying up. There's no getting around it. Why would I forgive somebody that clearly disrespected me in the biggest manner and is completely crossed the line? Why would they think they are getting saved from my revenge? Why would they think they're getting that? I'll tell you a story. I'm going to omit names because we don't need to have names, but there was a time where I was friends with this person, right? And me and another friend were supposed to be going to prom together, like as a group, and we all discussed it over the phone. We were thinking of getting a limo because it's prom. You do that. You go to prom once. Unless you're creative and you recreate prom for those who did not enjoy their prom. That would be cool for that to happen to me. But we speak as a trio. We're supposed to go as a trio. And something goes wrong there. I don't know if it's just communication wasn't there or if it was jealousy or whatever the case would be. But it's prom, right? And I'm the type of person that doesn't go out to a lot of social events. I'm pretty introverted. I do not enjoy being around other people. I like being at my house. I like playing my games, cooking, taking care of business. You know what I'm saying? I don't enjoy being around a lot of people. Depending on the people. Let me catch myself. Depending on the people. If it's a group of friends that I know very well, I absolutely am going to have a ball. You know what I'm saying? But if it's a bunch of strangers and whatnot, hell no. Hell no, I ain't going to have fun. I'm going to go home immediately. Especially if it's new people. Like, I know this is an aside, but I hate when your friends try to get you to meet other people that could be your friends, but you're not interested in that because you're here for your friend. I'm not here to meet and greet and present a version of myself to them that I don't feel like doing. You know, I don't feel like presenting that to them. So why should I do that, right? Why are you trying to make this friendship thing happen that's not really happening? You know? That's neither here nor there. We're going to move forward. We're not going to talk about that. That's happened like maybe twice, and it annoyed me every time because I'm like, I see what you're trying to do. You're not saying it, but I see what you're trying to do. Anyway, back to the prom story. So we're supposed to go to prom, right? And everything looks like it's good. The days leading up to it, people got their tux. Everyone's there. It's supposed to be me, a girl, and this boy that I'm not friends with anymore. So we go, right? I'm waiting on them. Mind you, my uncle is a professional photographer. So he brought his equipment over. He had everything set up for us to take pictures and look, you know, fly. And then we would go to the prom and have a good time and chill. And that would be it because that's what I was under the impression of. As friends, that's what we were supposed to do. Now, it turns out the boy liked the girl. Typical, right? Super typical. So, to spite me, because I guess he may have suspected I liked the girl or something, whatever the case may be. I know at that time, I was just ready to experience prom, and it was with two people I trusted a ton. At that time, like, I trust them. They're not going to bring me into something I don't want to be in. So, we go, right? I'm waiting. And I get a call from the girl, and the girl's like, oh, he's not coming to pick you up because something. They're already out to eat. We're supposed to go to eat and everything. And I explained to the girl, I'm like, hey, man, I got everybody over here waiting to see us. Like, y'all got to pull up so we can take the pictures or whatever or whatnot. Because straight up said he not doing it, right? And I'm like, all right, I'm furious at this point. Furious as hell. Mad Max, Fury Road, me edition. I'm mad as hell, right? So I blow up. My uncle tries to calm me down. I was like, hey, man, it's not that big of a deal. Go enjoy your night because you only get to do this once. And he was right. You only get to do it once unless, like I said earlier, you have friends that are creative and want to recreate big moments for you. So I calmed down. And I'm like, all right. I danced with the girl. We did the Soulja Boy thing. Because Soulja Boy was popping at the time. We hit that, but I'm pissed. I'm pissed because, as I told y'all earlier, I'm an introvert. And I've been agitated by this person because this person decided to just ruin my night. Right? And I think it was over something really stupid, too, because we had senior trip prior. And senior trip was at Disney World. We was chilling at that time, and I didn't think anything of it. I'm just trying to have fun. I went on Splash Mountain. I was soaking wet. I saw the Jabberwockies dance. It was cool. It was a cool night. Got to meet random people you probably will never see again, and I will find out that the reason Cuz did what he did was because we didn't talk to no girls that night. And I'm like, huh? How this on me? How this on me? You got free will. I'm in Disney World. I ain't been to Disney World since I was a jit, since a little child. You heard me? I'm a teenager now. I get to enjoy Disney World and do whatever and buy whatever. My parents gave me money. I can do whatever I want. And you're telling me you're mad at me and didn't communicate this with me that we should have been, trying to talk to girls the whole time? Like, I'm not saying I'm a player or anything, but, bruh, I'm not about to go talk to nobody and talk to some stranger that one I'm not going to be communicating with after this. After this, you going back to your state. I'm going back to my state. We're not about to do this little summer fling thing. It's a senior trip, but chill. We're in Disney World, the happiest place on earth. How the hell you unhappy at Disney World? How? Please explain to me how can you be unhappy at Disney World? It's bloody Disney World, right? So I'm chilling, right? Just having fun. Minding my business. We'll get to that later. But I'm minding my business. I don't think nothing of all of this. And to find out that's the reason Cuz did what he did, I'm like, that's so stupid, bruh. So Buddy tried to apologize to me at prom. And I wasn't having it one bit. Cold shoulder. I ain't want to talk. I ain't even talk to my crush. Because I wasn't even feeling shorty that we were supposed to go with at the time. You know what I'm saying? At the time, I was crushing on this other girl. And I was going to talk to her, ask her to dance, but he done pissed me off to the point where I ain't even want to do that. I ain't even want to ask the girl nothing. So, cold shoulder throughout the rest of the senior year. Like, I ain't trying to talk to Cuz. I ain't trying to talk to Buddy. I ain't trying to hear none of that. Buddy had to come to my house to apologize to my mom for the inconvenience. And I had the fakest smile on the whole time. I was like, yeah, sure, we're friends. Whole time in my head, hell no, we ain't friends. Hell to the no. I'm friends with the girl. To this day, I'm friends with the girl. But hell no. That situation there, that's the reason to hold a grudge. I feel like if you ruin a special moment that you can only get once in life, I'm holding a grudge. Absolutely. Minor inconveniences aren't worth grudges. That's not worth a grudge. Having an argument with someone and they disagree with you and yada, 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 that's not worth a grudge to me anyway. That ain't worth it. But If you take away something that I could only get once, you ruin a moment that I could only experience one time, the grudge is up forever. You know what I'm saying? It's up forever. And I don't think that's being childish or anything. I think, well, the grudge is up because of your actions. And we couldn't even try to get past this because you already acted before you thought of anything. And when you do that, it's like, well, you ain't no coming back from that. Because why did you choose to do that to me, of all people? If I'm your friend, why would you try to hurt your friend for no reason, right? That affected a lot for me. Like, if my introvertedness wasn't up, it went way up because now I knew I couldn't even trust folk. It was a moment in time where I really didn't see it for people because people are going to do stuff like this for reasons that you're unaware of. On top of that, you're unaware of everything. I can see if we had a game plan at the senior trip to do such and such. You know, let's chat these girls up. You know what I'm saying? Let's try to get a couple numbers. Let's be Lotharios out there. Let's do what we need to do, right? But poor communication is the reason that happened. Buddy didn't communicate that with me. You're a teenager in Disney World. Bro, I'm about to go ride all the rides. I'm in Space Mountain. I'm on Splash Mountain. I'm going to find the Jabberwockies. I'm doing whatever the hell we got to do while we got the time to be up in here. Because I'm not about to let this get screwed up because of you and your wants. You're not communicating that to me. So that's why I say, they screw up a moment that you can't get back, hold that grudge, keep it up, because it's unforgivable. It's rude. You're ugly if you do that. You dig what I'm saying? Oh, man. All right. Let me chill. So I want to move on now to downplaying. And what do I mean by downplaying? I always believed if we're going to have a communication, there's going to be a dialogue, right? Healthy communication requires a good dialogue. We can't effectively communicate with each other if one side's not willing to listen, take in the information, process the information, and then speak. If one party is only here to listen and then boo-boo on everything that you say, boo-boo on everything that you feel, that's downplaying. And I don't like when that happens within friendships, relationships, work. I don't like when that happens. It's discouraging because if you're coming to someone with an issue, right? You're coming to talk to somebody because you feel, if this is your friend, it's a safe space. It's a safe space to say whatever you feel without judgment. It's a safe space to express yourself without judgment. Now, if your friend's one of those messy folks that will go back and talk to everybody around town about the stuff that you do and the stuff that you express in, the things that are big to you but little to them, that's not the friend you want to have effective communication with. That's probably not your friend. That's probably a foe masquerading as a friend if they're going to run and pillow talk your business to somebody else. Okay, if you even suspect that, cut them off, cluck, 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 get them out. Snip, 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 goodbye, bye-bye, bye-bye. You don't want that. But if it's a safe space amongst friends and you're expressing a issue that you truly have, either with them or how they do things or whatever the case may be, if you're expressing an issue and you get the weirdest pushback by them downplaying everything you just said, like, oh, it could be worse. Oh, is that really a big of a deal? No, that's more of a you problem, not a me problem. Oh no, that's not something to complain about. Oh, one thing, that's it. No. That's not effective communication because it turns that safe space into into a it turns that safe space into basically a war zone. You're going to be uncomfortable, and you're going to constantly try to communicate effectively to someone who's not willing to listen to you. They're not willing to hear you out. They're not willing to come to a compromise. They're not willing to chat just to get past this thing. Because you can't necessarily move forward if you didn't listen to what the person was saying. That's just going to lead to ruin every time. There's no way you can get around that. If you get my drift, you're not going to be able to move past whatever issue, big or small, with a person, a partner, a coworker, whatever, if they didn't listen to you in the first place. And it's the worst when, especially at work. It's the worst if it's from one of your higher ups, because now you know you can't safely communicate how you feel about something because that party isn't listening to you. That sucks. I feel for folks who have to deal with that in their relationships because you're with a partner that doesn't listen. And hopefully you are making an exit plan to get away from that person and find someone who actually listens to you. Because, I don't know. To me, that's inexcusable. Why would I want to be around somebody or talk to someone who is not listening to me? Do not downplay somebody's emotions, their feelings, whatever the case may be. Don't downplay it. Listen to it. Explain yourself clearly. Talk clearly, effectively. Do not try to make it feel like it doesn't hurt. Don't try to, you get what I'm trying to say. Don't make it feel like this is so uncomfortable. I have to spruce it up a bit so it's not as uncomfortable. Uncomfortable conversations are going to happen in every facet of life. It is going to happen. You are going to have to deal with them. You're going to have to see them, and you got to face it head on. You cannot spruce up uncomfortableness. It's necessary for growth. Unfortunately, it's necessary for growth. You have to go through some uncomfortable times for you to be a better person. And if that means you're going to have to hear some stuff about yourself that you may not agree with, or stuff about, how the boss does this, or stuff about how you don't like how the higher-ups run this program, the higher-ups, the boss, your friend, your lover should take that uncomfortable feeling, process it, listen to you, and actually try to move forward with effective communication so we can say, oh, this won't happen again. This will stop happening. I'll stop doing this. I'll stop doing that. I'll actually hear you out and put some things in place so we don't have to have this conversation again. And if we need to be reminded, then just remind us. Downplaying is never cool. So if you're the type of person that feels the need to downplay everything, please work on that. You're not listening to the person. You're not trying to hear them out. You're doing the opposite. Why'd I say you like that? I said you like to hear yourself talk. And hearing yourself talk is not listening to a person. Okay? All right, friend? Your best friend on the internet that you didn't know you had for a reason, okay? Don't be one of those people who likes to just talk a ton. Talking a ton what is that going to do for you? Nothing. You can do that. Get yourself a microphone and just record your thoughts. And go and listen to them on a loop, okay? You can do that instead of talking to actual people who have actual feelings and concerns about things and downplaying it. Downplaying it. Why do I say words like that sometimes? You have to be willing to listen. And if you're not willing to listen, don't offer up yourself as a safe space if all you're going to do is get offended, try to spruce up the uncomfortableness to make it more comfortable for yourself. If you're not willing to listen and hear out a party, don't offer yourself up as a safe space. Don't even say the word safe space. Just say, hey, we're here to talk. At least you know it's not a safe space. Now, let's move on to another thing that I think a lot of you need to hear. A lot of you tend to get into situations and stuff that you didn't have to get into. You could have avoided all of that if you did this one itsy bitsy thing. You want to know what that is? That's minding the business that minds you. Sometimes in life, your presence isn't required for everything. Okay? It's not required. You don't need to be in it. You don't need to be a part of it. You don't need to be there. You don't need to put your 2 cents in. You don't have to do anything. You can just exist and not get involved in something that has nothing to do with you. Okay? Learn to do that. Because you can end up losing your job. You can end up losing a friend. You can end up losing a lot by just hopping in. Well, let me tell you how I feel about this. And let me tell you how I feel about this. Or project onto others about something that has nothing to do with you. Like, there are some people out there that are very bitter about relationships. And they will project that poor experience that they had with a person onto everything. Every little thing will get that experience. That filter goes on top of it because they had a bad experience. Okay? And sorry about the audio. I promise this is the last time we have to deal with this because I will have that new microphone. But I'll use myself for an example when it comes to relationships. I could have easily became one of these childish incel men who hate women because things didn't work out. I could have if I went down that rabbit hole. But thankfully, I had some common sense and I wasn't stupid. I just took time to heal myself instead of, oh my God, all these women suck. How can I be a good man? How can they tell me I'm a good man, but they don't like me? How can they do that? Wham, 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 wham. Jump down the rabbit hole, and now you're insufferable to be around. Why would I want to do that? Why would I want to do that? That ain't a good look on me. Plus, I'm too pretty for that. Too handsome. Too whatever you want to say. You feel me? Give me all the adjectives. Give me all the adjectives. I hype myself up right now. You know what I'm saying? I hype myself up right now. But I say all this to say, instead of me just hopping in the person that, be careful wording this. If I hopped into their business because I was hurt, or if I hopped into just every person's business due to hurt, heartbreak, whatever the case may be, if I were the one to do that, hop into all these relationships that are no good for me because I don't love myself, so how could I love anybody else at that time anyway? What would be the point? You know what I did? I minded my business and I took care of myself. And that's what people need to do in this world. And I apologize again if the audio is kind of crispy and it sounds like I'm being in a microwave, but I'm not in a microwave. Humans shouldn't be in microwaves, by the way, so don't use that analogy and be like, oh yeah, I sound like I'm in a microwave. No, you wouldn't survive being in a microwave. Your brain would explode. You would die instantly. So no. But if the audio sounds bad, I apologize. I might send this through an AI to see if it can clean it up just a little bit more than I can clean it up. Because, we do everything our own here at Simply Complicated Universe. But mind your business. Do not, by any means, do not hop into somebody's business because you feel the need to. Once again, I apologize for the audio because if it's acting dumb, it could be the mic. But you know what I just realized? What if it's the interface? What if my interface is going bad? And that's why my microphone's doing that. What if it's that? You know what I'm saying? Because, bruh, if I spend money on a microphone and it still sound like this, I'm going to pitch a bitch. It's a phrase I heard from this old guy I used to work with. He would always say, I'm going to pitch a bitch if I don't get what I need. Hope he's doing well. Much better than the last time we saw each other. But, yeah, don't get in people's business, please. You don't need to. mind yours. It is free. It costs $0. You don't have to get in anybody's mess or any situation. You don't even need to get put in one. You'll be fine the whole time. Why? Why must you? Because let me ask you a question. Is it because you like the drama? Do you like the drama? Is that it? You enjoy being the center of attention or something? You enjoy having your 2 cents read? Is that it? And you could just mind yours, say a little petty comments. You can even say those comments to yourself, but no one's going to hear them. I see stupid stuff all the time. I don't tell it to people I don't know. I say it to myself and I keep it pushing because I'm minding my business. It's free. It gives me peace of mind to know I can say how I feel without whatever that is. Okay? Okay. So, you know what we're going to do, which is pretty rare for this show, about 30 minutes in. We're going to take a little break. That's right. We're going to take a little bit of a break. I will be right back, ladies and gents. We're gonna talk about something to ruin your weekend via podcast or just research. We're going to talk about the Switch 2 recap. I'm trying to hit all the points that I can. If I miss something, we're going to go over it. Reason's going to share his thoughts most likely next week. If Crash Out and the Jit's available, he's going to do the same. And I'm going to talk about Wrestlemania week to close because we got a lot of stuff to talk about. We're going to go over every match, some of the stuff behind the matches. We're going to go over all of it, okay? So stay tuned. We will be back in a minute. Now, this is the part where I would put a transition in, but I don't know if we have one. Hey, team, we got one. If we got one, I'm about to take the break. I'm taking the break. So, look, just do what you put the, yeah, put the thing with the thing. Give me the thumbs up. Okay. They give me a thumbs up. We'll be back. And why do I say we when it's just me? It's just me. It's just me. What is the loneliest number that you ever do? We'll be back after this short little break. I don't know what they're going to put for the break. You guys, stay tuned.
Hey there, it's me, the narrator, head of the post-production department. And I would like to let you all know that Simply Complicated Universe will be returning after these messages. Please enjoy.
Do you go into the work and they just say you're too fucking happy? Well, from the makers of Strattera, we have a new pill, Depressic. Depressic is for those who are too happy all the time. You want to be bummed out like your coworkers because he's having a failing marriage? Try Depressic. It'll ruin your mood faster than you can say dead ain't he.
For Depressic life as well, I actually annoyed my coworkers with my happiness, but now everyone just asks, what's wrong? And I tell them, I don't know.
Well, I have a good marriage with my wife and my kids, but going to work and hear about my coworker being cheated on by Shirley, the accountant, really just grinds my gear. After hearing it every day, I wanted to know why he's so sad. I took me some depressant, and now I know.
Depressic. Following side effects of Depressic are
suicidal ideation, suicidal thought, possible empathy for others, and most importantly, depression. You will get depression. Do not take depression. You will also take in Throat-tastic, which is for other females out there. The throat baby. Some men... Oh, wow. I'm sorry. We gotta clear that. Some men cannot also take depression. If they take depression, they will also decide to get throat babies and have depression doing it too. Do not take it if you have OnlyFans account. Do not take it if you are genuinely happy with your life and don't want to be depressed. Depressic also gives you upset stomach, whooping cough, mad cow disease, grammar rat disorder, and most importantly, depression. Do not take depressic if you are one of the following: a chipmunk, a man, a woman, a human being, a baby, and most importantly, a sick person. If you're overall generally happy with your life, do not take depressic. Do not take depressic if you have one arm shorter than the other arm. Do not take depressic if you like wearing gold chain. Do not take depressic if you have Tourette's and like to attack the LGBTQIA community and lose all your money. Do not take depressic if let's go. Do not take depressic if you are a Twitch streamer who is easily hurt by comments. Depressic also will give you sore throat because depressic is worse than having a sore throat. So might as well give you one. Again, don't take depressic if you are genuinely happy with your life. If you want to fit in with the rest of the world, depressic is on your side. The leading brand in depression. Do not take depressic if you have high blood pressure, diabetes, or both.
Depressic, your leading brand of depression.
Demetrius and have a problem. My girlfriend left me. My dick doesn't grow.
Damn.
I don't know what to do anymore. It's like every fucking time. I don't know what to do anymore.
Hey, baby. Listen here, brother. Down. You got problems with your erection? Your junk don't work, buddy. Then let me tell you where you need to be. Yeah. Welcome to Funk Yo Junk Gymnasium. Funk Yo Junk. We gon' work out your junk. Your junk is going to be amazing. We got junk push-ups, junk press, and of course, junk pull-ups. Junk pull-ups.
What else do you have?
We got a nice treadmill for when you just need to let your thing swing in the wind, especially for great sweatpants season when all the females and women out there are looking at it. And if you are not fully convinced yet, why don't you listen to some of our full-time gym members? Man, look, I heard about Funk Your Junk. I already had a big junk, right? So I went there and I started working out my junk. I went from 10 inches to now 14 inches, and now no woman will have sex with me. Hi, my name's Christine, and when I started at this gym, I used to be a woman.
Your girl wants the hump, and I got the junk. Oh!
You need to come in today to get funky. Funk your junk. Call us at, what's the number, baby? 1-800-FUNKY-JUNK. That's 1-800-FUNKY-JUNK. Yeah. We are not liable for any injuries sustained to your junk. Seriously, you should learn when to stop. What the hell, man? White man? Why do I want to have sex with me? I made it bigger. Shit! Please be careful next to
Are you thinking, my brother? Today I want to talk to you about the purification of your mind. You see, my brothers and sisters, it doesn't matter how many times you funk your junk in the village hidden in the chronic leaves, you cannot be purified because you still partake in the substance of the government. You see, my brothers and sisters, if you truly want to purify yourself, there's only two things you can do. The first being you must bathe in pure apple cider vinegar for days while listening to wholesome music such as the Phony People and the Dear Silas and the Bass God. And the only other way that you can save yourself is by being a big old freak. So next time you're struggling or wondering what you should do in your life, ask yourself the question, are you thinking, my brother?
Are you thinking, brother? Available on Shade 45 and UPN at 9 p.m.
And sometimes all network.
Did you enjoy that? Well, did you? Is that a yes? Are you nodding? Did you laugh? I hope you did. On behalf of the post-production team, we thank you for listening to this break. Hopefully in the future, there will be more sponsors. I wonder how old Bartleby's doing. We gotta check in with that guy. I bet he's got some more things to say. Till then, we'll get to work on it, try to secure some deals. But you have a job to do, and that's finish the episode. Because you're listening to Simply Complicated Universe. Back to the MCZX. Get to listening now. We work hard on this.
Yo, we are back. Welcome in again. It's time to talk about the Nintendo Switch 2. So, What happened? Were our predictions correct? Did we get anything right? Not really. Not really. You see, I was hoping that we'd get this Mother Collection, this HD remastered, HD 2.5 remaster of the Earthbound games, Mother 1, Mother 2, Mother 3, but that did not happen. And Rizu's claim of Game Pass coming to the Switch was also not announced. However, there is time. There is time. It's only been a week since the announcement, and a lot has happened. But let's get into the deets. For example, when is this console coming out? That would be June 5th, 2025. Hopefully that doesn't change down the line, but it looks like June 5th, 2025 is our official release date for the console. How much is this console going to cost? You might be asking yourself. Well, let me tell you, for the console by itself, it's $450. And I know that's pretty steep. That's kind of high. The original Switch, I believe, was it $399 or was it $299 or $350? It was around that ballpark. $450 is a bit high. And a lot of people have been saying, oh man, you could just get a Steam Deck, get a ROG Ally, get one of those. But those are pretty expensive too. A ROG Ally is $499. When I went in Sam's, it was about $500. And a Steam Deck OLED, we're not even addressing the amount of memory and space in it, is $549 or $550. And the Switch 2 is on par with both of those consoles I mentioned. I think $450 for the consoles is still, if you ask me, you're getting some great hardware for $450 that can play Switch 2 games and your Switch games because it's backwards compatible. That's right. If you have a back catalog like me, you can go through all your games on better tech, or you can just try to beat them all before the new console comes out. But that's neither here nor there. And the Switch was $299. It just hit me. It's a light bulb. Remember, it was $299. So to go from $299 to $450 is crazy. But that's not all. If you wanted to get Mario Kart World, that's right, Mario Kart World, you can drop an extra $50 for a digital copy of the game, and that's going to bring your total to $499.99, which is just $500. You get the launch game and the new Switch. Now, we also have to take in the fact of Pro controllers, and those are, I don't know how much those are going to cost yet. Could be $80, could be $70. Could be anything, truthfully. We don't know. Because Nintendo's also been tight-lipped about that, along with those update costs. But let's say you just want to get the console by itself, and you want to get Mario Kart World separately. You're doing yourself a disservice. Because $450 plus $80, that's right, $80 for Mario Kart World is a bit egregious. And if you get a Pro controller, you just got to throw that on top of it. That's probably another $60 or $70. Truthfully, you're spending $600 on this console. And now I'm starting to see why maybe a Steam Deck or a ROG Ally isn't as bad, depending on the memory you get with it, because the higher the memory, obviously, the higher the price. So, Switch 2 on a ballpark $500 to $600 if you get all the accessories. Now, what games will the Switch 2 have? So, as I said, the aforementioned Mario Kart World, it's the launch title, obviously. You're going to enjoy this one if you're a fan of Mario Kart. I think you can get a lot out of it because it's a free roam mode now, a bigger roster than last game, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. You have 24 competitors instead of 12. There's a knockout mode and a picture mode. There's a lot to do in this game. It's very immersive, according to what they told us at the Direct. There's going to be a Direct tomorrow about Mario Kart World and more things you can do with it. Another game that's coming to the Switch 2 is Donkey Kong Bonanza. That game is also known as Digging and Destruction, because that's what it seems to be about. You're digging up bananas, you're getting these cool special bananas, and you're destroying everything. And it looks fantastic. I can't even lie. Another game they teased is Kirby Air Riders, which is a sequel to Kirby Air Ride, and it's going to be directed by the Golden Boy, Masahiro Sakurai, the guy who created Super Smash Bros. And I noticed a lot of people were disappointed that there weren't a new Smash Bros. Game for the Switch 2, but how are you going to follow Ultimate? How could you follow that up? Maybe a Switch 2 edition will drop, and you can pay the mysterious price for that. There's another game. It's based on wheelchair rugby. It looks like basketball too, but it's called Dragon Drive. It's going to show off the mouse and motion control capabilities of the Switch 2. There's another game that's a bit egregious that I think should be included with the damn Switch 2, and that's Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. I don't understand why you have to pay for this when it's just a big tech demo. That should be included with the Switch 2, just so you can get used to the console, even if you don't have a back catalog. You at least know what you're doing with it. Why do you have to pay probably $60 to $50 for a tech demo? That should be free. I really hope Nintendo reverses the decision of making this a separate standalone game. And speaking of prices, I also realize Nintendo has always been out of pocket when it comes to prices, because I was looking back at some old, gaming magazines and some old catalogs around Christmas time. And I noticed back in the early 90s, like certain Super Nintendo games were $50, right? 50 whole dollars. Sega was there too, but Nintendo kind of sets the tone. And then when the 64 came out, I remember specifically Mischief Makers was $69.99 or $59.99. I'm just looking at another little retro thing on Reddit. This thing was $112. I don't know if that's California prices, but it was $112. So the outrage behind Mario Kart World being $80 is understandable, because people don't have money like that to just throw around at video games. I understand. We have to make every penny stretch. With everything going on in the world right now, these tariffs, the inflation, there's a lot of stuff happening right now that we don't have time to just spend on luxuries like video games. We got to make sure rent's due. We got to make sure bills are paid. We have to make sure that we can eat, So for Mario Kart World to be $80, I know, crazy as hell, but it's very on brand for Nintendo, because if they were charging $112 for Mischief Makers and GoldenEye and Mario Kart and 1997, and I don't know if this catalog is like from California or whatever, because I know it costs a bit more to live out there, but man, $69.99 maybe down here, $80 sounds like a steal. I'm not defending them, by the way, because the way they went about it was a bit scummy. They was like, you can't afford it? Too bad. Play the old console. You can't get it. It's not my problem. So, yeah, there's that. The Welcome Tour should be free, though. I'm a little disappointed we didn't get, like, Nintendo Switch 2 Sports. Maybe that's coming down the line. I don't know. And another big game that's coming to the Switch 2 is exclusively going to that console. Well, maybe it might show up on the PlayStation or the Xbox in due time, but it's exclusive on the Switch 2 for now, and it's from FromSoft, and it is called the Dusk Bloods, and it has a feel to it. It looks like a familiar game that people want to see remastered on the PlayStation 3, and that's Bloodborne. It looks like it's going to have a lot of multiplayer elements to it, but we'd have to see more. We just got like a little teaser trailer for it. There's going to be new Rhythm Heaven. There's a lot of fun stuff that's coming to the Switch too, but the pricing I don't know. Because with Orange and Chief here, we have no idea what's going to happen the next day, because the tariffs from China, or the tariffs he just decides to start and then pause and start and pause. I don't know what is going to cost what. This may be completely irrelevant by the time the console comes out. All right. A lot of people were impressed to see like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Cyberpunk, Elden Ring, Street Fighter 6, even Star Wars Outlaws running on the Switch 2. So this is a very strong console when it comes to the hardware inside of it. It can do a lot that little baby Switch 2 can't. And the $450 is worth the price. I understand if you don't get it. Really, you should just buy the bundle. If you're going to get a game, get Mario Kart and have something to play with people. But if you do not want to buy the Switch 2, I am not knocking it, because if there's nothing there that's catching your eye, why would you drop $500 on something? And it's this economy, why would you drop $500 on something that is just going to sit there and collect dust? You know, we're going to know more about the Switch 2 probably in the coming months, because June is right around the corner. May is right around the corner. So we're going to know everything about it as soon as those months come to pass. But that is what happened with the Switch 2. And you're probably wondering, when can I pre-order this thing? When can I get it? Well, I have unfortunate bad news for you. You can't. As of now, as of this recording, you can't. There's rumors going around that the next pre-order date is going to be April 21st, April 23rd, and April 30th. But those are just rumors. We're not going to know anything until Nintendo, gives us the price. And you're probably wondering, well, I thought April 9th was the day you can, get your pre-orders in. Well, on that same day, the same day as the Direct, Orange and Chief decided to drop the ChatGPT tariffs and just screw over everyone. Everybody got tariffs. Everyone, even an island where there's just penguins on it. Everyone in a mall got tariffs. And then he turned them off because, that's what he does. Oh, it's screwed up. Everything's crashing. Stock market, S&P 500, everything falling down. And then he reversed it and it went back up. And I feel like this is going to be the modus operandi of that administration, by the way. Just constant stop and start, stop and start, stop and start. If you want to learn more about tariffs, I highly suggest you go to IG and go follow the page Blair Imani. That's Smarter in Seconds. She is awesome, and she explained tariffs to a T. And no, the country that gets the tariffs put on it is not paying for it. It is us, the consumer, that is paying for it. I've been saying this before he got in office. And anyway, y'all didn't read. Y'all don't like reading. I forgot. Reading is like your enemy. Anything involving education is just bad. That's bad. We don't like that. So there's that. Hopefully you can pre-order your Switch on one of those rumored dates. We're trying to start the same time as Canada, but fingers crossed, because who knows? Tomorrow the tariffs might be back on because he's in a foul mood and whatever. I'm going to put 3 billion % tariffs on everything, because why? Why? That's right. A cup of coffee is going to cost $400. It sucks so much, bro. We suck. Can't stand it. Can't stand it. But that's enough about the Switch 2. I'm sure when the boys come back, we are going to talk more about it, get their thoughts on it. I want to move on because right now the information's fresh and there's not enough to talk about besides those games. I want prices. I want prices for things so I know what I'm paying for, so you can budget it out and see if it's within your budget. Okay? That's what I want. And if they're not going to use smart delivery like they should, they better at least make sure it is $10 to $15 to upgrade your previous edition to the Switch 2 edition. It should be no more than that. If it's $30 to upgrade, go to hell. Go to hell. Speaking of hell, though, if you want to ruin your weekend, don't do it. But if you want to ruin your weekend, you should listen to Late Nights at Nexpo. A great podcast, by the way. All things horror gets covered beautifully by Nexpo. You should follow his YouTube channel. Go follow the podcast as well. But if you want to ruin your weekend, go research the Willowbrook State School, or listen to the episode from Late Nights at Nexpo, Abandoned by God. Because, let me tell you, the things that went on in that school from 1947 to 1987 is horror. It is true horror. This was a school for kids with intellectual disabilities. And I don't want to spoil it for you, but let's just say that school had some of the worst conditions of all time. I don't think anything is going to beat that school when it comes to worst conditions. It was awful. Just think of the worst thing you can think of imaginable, and it probably happened at that school. I couldn't believe that it stayed open for damn near 4 decades. I could not believe that the government didn't put more money into it so it would be funded properly and you could hire enough people so you can watch the folks with intellectual disabilities. Because to me, that's no different than building a hospital and then not hiring enough doctors, not hiring enough nurses to take care of the people who go to said hospital. What do you think is going to happen if the government doesn't care that you're understaffed? What do you think is going to happen? Just take a wild guess. Horror. Absolute horror. The worst of the worst. Corners are going to be cut. Bad things are going to happen. But I'm not going to spoil the story for you. If you want to find out about it, go research it. Just research what happened at Willowbrook State School. Or go listen to the episode from Late Nights with Nexpo. I promise you, you are not going to leave that episode the same way you came in. Even if you have a thick stomach for things. The fact that this happened is disgusting. This is real life horror. And I urge you to go research it. Go ahead. Be my guest. But we have one more thing to talk about before I'm out of here. Because there's cooking that needs to be done. And your boy is hungry. If you didn't know, wrestling fans, I told you at the start of the show, this is the perfect time to get into pro wrestling. Because it is Wrestlemania week. It falls on Easter and 420. That should be funny, shouldn't it? No. Let me stop. But WrestleMania is this week, along with NXT Stand and Deliver, and along with a ton of indie wrestling going on before the big show. Make sure if you're going to Vegas that you're safe, and make sure you enjoy yourself. Don't be a weirdo, okay? Don't stalk the wrestlers. Don't act like you know the wrestlers. Don't do any of that weird stuff. Wear deodorant. Make sure you're clean. Have a good time. Support indie wrestling. And if you're going to WrestleMania, God bless your budget. God bless your pocketbook, because you got it like that and you're able to go. Because I saw how much those tickets were and I couldn't believe people were paying to go. But hey, folks love Cody Rhodes. Folks love Gunther, Io Sky, Tiffany Stratton. You know, the main place. People will pay the money to see it. But you know what I want to do? I want to go over the order. I want to talk about what we're going to see at the big show. I would cover NXT Stand and Deliver as well, but for time constraints, all I'm going to say is watch NXT Stand and Deliver, because you're going to become a fan of NXT, and that might make you a fan of WWE. And in other wrestling things, you might be able to branch out and see other things, other promotions, other pro wrestlers, who knows? If you're unfamiliar, by the way, NXT is like the third brand of WWE. It's the developmental for the future stars. And they have another thing called Evolve for the talent that want to get to NXT, that want to, get to Raw or SmackDown. These are wrestling shows. I'm hoping you understand what I'm saying. If not, Google is free. You can just Google WWE and find out all this stuff for yourself. I would go over Stand Deliver like I said before, but we're running low on time. And I don't want to hold you up here all day. Like, do you really want to hear me all day? Because I could go over the show, but honestly, memory's a little hazy right now, and I remember the main card better than I remember NXT, because I will not lie to you, I did not watch this week. I did not watch the Go Home, because I got caught up in something, and I'll probably watch it later to, be aware of what's going on in the thing. But let's talk about WrestleMania Night 1 and 2. So, grand total, if you're going to watch this, the pre-show is 3 hours, and the main show is 4 hours. And if you watch both days, that's going to be a grand total of 14 hours of pro wrestling. Now, let me just give you a tip. If you're really unfamiliar with what's going on, I advise you watch the pre-show so you know what you're getting into. But if you are seasoned and you watch wrestling on a week-to-week basis, then you probably don't need to do that. You can spend time getting your food together, getting your friends over, making sure your house is tidy, make sure everyone is not smelly, and enjoy the pro wrestling, right? Enjoy WrestleMania because it's the Super Bowl of wrestling. It's also, to me, the season finale of whatever's going on in WWE. So they can move on to brand new storylines, introduce new wrestlers who may have left other companies to come over here, call up for people from NXT to put them on Raw and SmackDown. It's a big night. It's like a huge draft that you're unaware of. They just shake up the table. Everything's shooken up. But it's 2 nights. WrestleMania used to be 1 night, but now it's 2 nights because there's a lot of show. And we're going to go over all of it. So I'm going to go in no particular order, but we're going to cover the main 3 matches. It looks like there's going to be 7 matches on night 1, 6 matches. I did air quotes, 6 matches on night 2, and there are reasons why. So no particular order. Let's get the somewhat fluff out the way. So the World Tag Team Champion match, you have the World Raiders. The World Raiders. I guess I saw World, and I'm reading off my sheet, and I saw World, and I said, oh, World Raiders? No. We have the War Raiders versus the New Day. Now, I am going to say this may be controversial, but this may save the tag team division on Raw. You should give the belts to the New Day. And I know that's wild because they suck right now. They were terrible to Big E. They said some really harsh things to our boy. How could you hate Big E? He's such a lovable person. But they said some terrible things. And you have the tag division on Raw, which is pretty lackluster to me. I think it could be better, but there's not that many teams on Raw. There's the War Raiders, there's the New Day, there's the LWO, there's American Made. That's about it from my memory. They used to be Karrion Kross's group, but they're all gone too. But you have those teams shuffling out, and you could always call someone up from NXT or just bring someone from SmackDown to chat. I don't know if you make it a little interesting, but whatever. The War Raiders and the New Day, the feud's been okay at best. I think if it got more time, this would have been more interesting for me. I'm giving it to the New Day because them with the belts and a babyface tag team trying to take the belts off the New Day makes for good television. It would make the tag team division feel a bit more solid. You know, you have a highly tenured team with the belts. Not to say the War Raiders haven't pushed their way because they've grinded a ton too, but 2 veteran-ish tag teams. Why am I calling them veteran-ish? They are veterans at this point. I just don't want to feel old. But 2 veteran tag teams going at it, I think would be for great business. New Day holding the belts better than the War Raiders because everyone hates a tag team that's just full of themselves. You know? No one likes cocky champions. And seeing them get their comeuppance would be the best, especially if Big E's there to witness it. Next up, this should be fun. For night 1, we have Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano from the Gulf of Mexico. When he debuted, it was the Gulf of America. I wanted to just throw myself off a roof. But this should be a fun match. I cannot tell you who El Grande Americano is because that will spoil the whole point of the match. Because I think El Grande Americano is losing his mask at this match. I can't see Rey Mysterio losing to El Grande Americano. This is a very goofy and silly and fun storyline that low-key offended some Hispanic folk because it was like making a mockery of Lucha Libre. But Rey Mysterio's here and he's going to shut that stuff down. He's going to shut it down. And the fun's going to end. We're going to have a laugh because we all know who's under the mask. If you look at a picture of El Grande Americano and you just happen to browse the WWE roster, you'll see another guy that looks just like him. You know? But I'm hoping this feud is over because to me, Oh, God, I almost said the guy's name. Rey Mysterio needs to be doing something better than this, and the other guy should have gold. Hopefully, he will go for the Intercontinental Championship, and this little thing, this experiment, will be over. I got Rey Mysterio winning this one. Moving on, LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu. I'll keep this short and sweet. I like LA Knight. I really do. He's hella entertaining, but Jacob Fatu is the man. You know what I mean? He's the man. So Jacob Fatu should win this. The only way I see him not winning this is if he gets betrayed by Solo and Tama, and I don't think they're gonna do that. I truly believe Jacob Fatu is going to take the belt off of LA Knight so we could bump LA Knight into the World Championship, the undisputed WWE Championship, not division, but that caliber. He should be there instead of holding the U.S. champion because that guy is a main eventer and he should be chasing after the main event championship. Jacob's just going to elevate that damn United States Championship. Jacob Fatu wins that match. Moving on, we have the WWE Women's match, Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. I ain't going to lie to you. I feel like Charlotte's phoning this entire thing in. This feud has not been good since she made her decision after winning the Royal Rumble. I personally think Tiffany Stratton is going to come away with the win because I don't see the point of Charlotte beating a younger talent. At this point in her career, she should be putting people over, and Stratton's the perfect person to put over. Now, this feud seemed to get a little personal because they had a promo, and they were supposed to do a promo that was written out, and that went off script completely. Got real personal because Charlotte recently got divorced, and Charlotte accused Tiffany's boyfriend Ludwig Kaiser of, being in her DMs. It got ugly to the point Charlotte even attacked Tiffany in the parking lot, and they told her, "Go home for the week, leave now." It was ugly. I'm hoping these two can just put whatever personal beef they have aside and give us a fun match. I got Tiffany Stratton win this one. I don't see why Charlotte Flair should win anything at this point in time. It's not like Tiffany's been a bad champ. She's been very fun and very entertaining to watch, and her matches constantly deliver. Moving on, this is going to be fun to watch. Kind of heartbreaking too, because I love the big three, but the big three is no more because we got Jade Cargill versus Naomi. Oh man. So Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi are the big three, but it's no more because at some point in time, Naomi got real jealous and Jade Cargill mysteriously just got injured. She was like pushed on top of a car. She was out for a while. Then she comes back at Elimination Chamber, right? And we think it's Liv Morgan that did it. Liv Morgan didn't do it. Not at all. It was Naomi. And Jade beat the dog shit out of Naomi. She molly-whopped her ass from pillar to post over this. And Naomi's reasoning was because, well, you stole B's spotlight. You're kind of a moocher. You're not as good as you say you are, and you don't need to be around us. I need to be in the rightful position that I am. Now, that's my best friend. It's a whole bunch of stuff. Naomi and Bianca fall out because of it, because Bianca just wanted the truth, and Naomi gave her the truth and called her an ungrateful bitch. So Jade Cargill and Naomi have been battling since. The big blow-off is at WrestleMania, and it would be very stupid to say Naomi's going to win. It would be nice if Naomi won, but let's just put it in this perspective. Jade Cargill's been gone for quite some time. She's just getting back in the swing of things. Why would the heel who did this end up with the win? Make that make sense. Why would she end up with the win? Not at all. Jade Cargill's going to win that. No problem. Now, got the big two. You got Jey Uso versus Gunther, which I feel is either opening the show or is going to be the second to last match on the show. Now, the stipulation is if you win the Royal Rumble, you main event WrestleMania. They should change that because that's not the main event. Jey Uso, unlikely to win the Rumble. He eliminated John Cena, which we'll get to in a second, and he's challenging Gunther. Gunther, if you don't know, is a badass. The man will look at you and kill you. He will chop you and you will die. And I can't really tell you nothing else besides that because I don't want to be on that man bad side. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a little podcaster. I ain't got nothing to do with WWE. I'm just a man I'm sure if he chopped me, I'm going to the ICU. But Jay's the underdog in this because everyone is doubting Jay Uso to take out Gunther. And Gunther, whenever he gets a title, he holds that title for quite some time. And I'm split on the decision of this match because a part of me really wants the internet to lose its mind. A part of me wants Jay Uso to win, hopefully with the new finisher that's not the spear, a new finisher that's his own. I want to see Jay Uso win so the internet can just yell and scream and bitch and moan like this was the wrong decision. Jay Uso is super over. If you don't know what over means, that means everybody likes Jay Uso. Jay Uso is the guy right now. Yes, the YEET thing can be a bit annoying, but when he turns on the serious mode, it's straight heat, straight fire, right? Gunther is a credible champion. Gunther backs up everything he says. Gunther beats the shit out of people. Basically, that's his wrestling style. He's not a showman. He gets in the ring and gets the job done. I want to see Jay Uso win. I have a feeling Jay Uso's going to win. I also have a feeling they may play it safe and give it to Gunther. And Gunther just gives Jay Uso the respect after the match because he took him to his limit. I could see that being the ending too. I don't know what to say, but I'm going to say this. Jay Uso is going to beat Gunther because the internet needs to burn. I need to see y'all upset. I'm sorry. I need to see it happen. Gunther's been a great champ. Gunther can win it back. Gunther might get traded to SmackDown for all we know when they do the draft because the draft happens like a couple weeks after WrestleMania. So he could be going to SmackDown and could challenge Cody or John Cena or whoever is holding that belt. And that does it for night one. Now, no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. How could I forget? How could I forget? The main event. I just said the main event wasn't that match. That's not it. The main event is something that I feel shouldn't be the main event. It should be the second to last thing to go on, but because an old man never got to main event WrestleMania, he never got to do it, and he whined and complained, and he got it, and they finally wrote him in with his claws. CM Punk versus Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns in the custody of Paul Heyman match. Well, maybe not, because Roman Reigns ain't rocking with Paul Heyman anymore after the go home from Raw. And Seth Rollins, again, saved Paul Heyman from Punk and Reigns. What I mean by saved from Punk, I mean, well, Punk put him in danger, and Rollins was the one who saved him. So, okay, I don't know what's going on there, but anyway, I'm just watching my brother. He just did something. So, CM Punk has been longing to main event WrestleMania for the longest. I think he should have main evented when he wrestled The Undertaker. That should have been the main event then, but for some reason that wasn't chosen. Of course, he leaves, goes to AEW, leaves AEW, comes back home, and does all that. Seth Rollins has been here since NXT. Same as Roman Reigns. They have elevated themselves as the new top guys. Roman Reigns, I can't say he has a fall from grace or anything, but Roman Reigns is still main eventing, but he's probably going to be in the title picture after all of this. Seth Rollins, rightfully so, is aggravated that CM Punk is getting his dream match. Roman Reigns is mad at Paul Heyman because Paul Heyman is going to be accompanying CM Punk to the ring because they said that a long time ago and he promised them that, and the promise is going to come true. However, I think the real winner of this match is Seth Rollins. I think Paul Heyman is going to play a huge role in this match. And it's going to work in Seth Rollins' favor because, you see, Roman Reigns has split up with Paul. CM Punk has caused the rift by those two being real-life friends. Roman Reigns hates Seth Rollins and CM Punk. Seth Rollins hates CM Punk. And Roman Reigns, CM Punk is just happy to be there, hates Seth Rollins, right? I think Paul Heyman is going to cost Punk this match and align himself with Seth Rollins because you made me lose my tribal chief by being a loyal friend to you, and Seth Rollins has saved me twice. And Seth said, you owe me a favor. What could that favor be? Get me the win for this match at WrestleMania. Screw over both of them and align yourself with me. And I see that happening. I can't deny it. I see it happening. They would have to really swerve me or just tease that he's going to do it. But Paul Heyman's going to be the glue that holds this match together. And once he chooses Seth, Seth's got this in the bag. Roman is already pissed at him. And maybe he's going to try to smile up to Roman. Like, oh, man, you know what I mean? Come on, bro. I'm the wise man. But at the end of the day, the revolutionary, the architect, the evolutionary, Seth Rollins has a plan, and he's going to screw Roman Reigns again. He's going to take another thing from Roman Reigns. He took the Shield, and now he's going to take his wise man, and he's going to take CM Punk's best friend. I cannot see it happening any other way. Seth Rollins is winning this match. Now, let's go on to night 2, because we're almost done here. I know there's a lot of stuff. So, first thing, AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. To be quite honest, AJ Styles should win this match. Logan Paul just kind of pops up and leaves. He's not the full-timer that he says he's supposed to be. He pops up and leaves. He's a great performer. He's great at this wrestling thing, and it pisses me off. He's so good at it in such little time. He's giving Kurt Angle vibes, except just attached to a really shitty person. But AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. I'm calling AJ Styles to win this match, but I wouldn't be surprised if Logan wins and AJ puts him over because he's a younger talent and we need to establish Logan Paul as this serious competitor. So Logan could win this, but I really hope AJ wins. Also, we have the Sin City Street Fight, Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre. So there's a little history between these two. And this is it. Damian Priest cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase on Drew McIntyre at last year's WrestleMania. And the only reason this happened is because Drew couldn't leave well enough alone. He went, messed with CM Punk, who was injured at the time. CM Punk took off his cast, hit Drew with it. The cash-in happened. Then after that, they have a match at Clash at the Castle. McIntyre loses again because of CM Punk. Then we get to this year. The Royal Rumble happens. Who eliminates freaking McIntyre? It's Damian Priest. We get to Elimination Chamber. Who eliminates McIntyre again? It's Damian Priest. And this is boiling up to this street fight. Now, quite frank, Damian Priest got a lot of wins over Drew McIntyre, quote unquote. I think Damian Priest is losing this match and Drew McIntyre is winning. He has to get some sort of comeuppance. He got bloody glass in his eye and Drew's wearing an eye patch. He's wearing an eye patch. You took everything from him. Damian Priest has been the core of it along with CM Punk. But Damian Priest has been the core of all of these troubles. What do you mean I'm losing? Drew McIntyre's winning that match. I can't see it happening any other way. Drew has to reestablish himself as like, yeah, I'm still not to be effed with. I'm that guy. I beat Damian Priest. Finally, I took him out. And I'm back on my title hunt for the undisputed WWE Championship. Here's another match that was just thrown together. It's Bayley and Lyra Valkyria versus Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. This is for the Women's Tag Team Championship match. I'm going to call it now. Liv and Raquel are going to win that. And Bayley's going to turn on Lyra because she's frustrated that she couldn't beat Lyra Valkyria for her Intercontinental Championship. There's a Women's Intercontinental Championship and there's a Women's United States Championship if you didn't know. It just feels like that's what's going to happen. Bayley's about to be a heel again. She's been face for a while. I think she does some of her best work in this era as a heel. Hugger Bayley, if that was Hugger Bayley, that would never happen. But this version of Bayley, I clearly see the heel turn happening. We're not getting new women's tag champs. Liv and Raquel are the best women's tag champs we have at the moment. And hopefully, they will retain their championships. Let's see where else. All right, there's a wild card match to make this 7 matches. Now, Randy Orton was supposed to be facing Kevin Owens at Mania Night 2, but Kevin Owens unfortunately went down with a neck injury, and he's going to be out for a couple years. And it sucks because it couldn't happen to a nicer guy, but they were going to have the blow-off match there. We was going to see the punt kick, and that's not happening. SmackDown hasn't aired yet, So there's a possibility Randy Orton might have a match, but we don't know who it will be against. Now, I know this is wild to put onto the newest talent that's signed, but Rey Fenix versus Randy Orton would be crazy. And I bet they could get a sick RKO spot out of that, if need be. But I don't know if they would pull the trigger that fast, because Rey Fenix just got here. He just got here, so I don't see them doing that match. It might be against someone on the roster, maybe someone from NXT. It could be a crossover match for all we know. WWE might have a big trick up their sleeve to get Orton on the card. Hopefully it's not in a segment. I think Orton wins. I think he wins. Whoever he's against, he wins. But we'll just have to see when the go-home show for SmackDown happens. Now on to the big 3 matches for night 2. The first is the Fatal 4-Way match for the Intercontinental Championship. It's Penta versus Braun Breaker versus Dominic Mysterio versus Finn Balor, a.k.a. the end of Judgment Day, a.k.a. the funnest match on the show. This will be the show stealer. I'm calling it now. This is it. This match, people are going to be talking about this match for quite some time. I feel in my heart that Braun Breaker is not done with the IC title just yet. He has more time with that championship before he jumps to the main event. Even though Braun Breaker as World Heavyweight Champion would be phenomenal. I would love to see that, but he has some more time. Eventually, at some time this year, Sheamus is going to finish his story, and defeating Braun Breaker would be the icing on the cake. Penta is relatively new here. I would like to see him win at WrestleMania. That would be nice. But I don't think he's going to. I don't think he was. And if they are going to pull the trigger, my 2 picks is Braun or Penta. I can't see Dominic or Finn winning this right now because those 2 are going to implode on each other. There's no way that Dominic walks out of here with the championship. I feel like Dominic is kicking Finn out of the Judgment Day. And yes, Finn Balor deserves better. But I do not think he's winning this IC championship here. He deserves way better, though. He should take some time off and maybe come back a better Finn Balor. Penta winning doesn't upset me. Braun winning doesn't upset me. Actually, any of these 4 men winning would not upset me. It would be intriguing, actually. I take back what I said about Dominic and Finn not winning this match. That would be crazy if Finn wins and he's holding it over Judgment Day like, this is how you'll get the job done. Or if Dominic won, it's like, well, you couldn't get the job done, but Dirty Dom got it done. Or Penta finally winning his first WWE championship. Or Braun Breaker just continuing his rampage over the IC championship just to lose to Sheamus at some point in time. I'm calling, Sheamus has to take the belt. Sheamus has to be the next IC champion, okay? It has to be Sheamus. I want it to be Sheamus. It's kind of why I'm like, leaning towards Braun winning this. But I wouldn't be upset because this is going to be a show stealer. I cannot wait for them to put on this match. Another potential show stealer, though, is a triple threat match for the Women's World Championship. And that's Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky versus Bianca Belair. Now, me personally, I'm picking Bianca Belair. I pick Bianca Belair for everything. She is 4-0 at WrestleMania. Can she make it 5? I want her to make it 5. And no, the WrestleMania Battle Royal thing when she was representing NXT, that doesn't count. That doesn't count. That's a Battle Royal. That doesn't count. She didn't lose a one-on-one match or a tag match. That does not count. Could she go 5-0? Yes. But the downside to her going 5-0 is we ripped the championship away from Io Sky and she just got the thing. I don't want Io to be seen as a transitional champion. Because Io Sky is a phenomenal champion. Check her NXT run. Who's not winning this match is Rhea Ripley. I'll tell you that much because she bullied her way into this match. She was privileged. Where. I lost because of you. I want this. I want that. I'm going to steal the contract. This. Sign my name. Yeah. Where. Rhea's not winning this match. I'll tell you that. That ain't happening. The only 2 choices are Io and Bianca. This match should have been Io and Bianca. But I digress. My pick is Bianca because she is supposed to have gold around her waist. Bianca should be the winner. She earned it. She won the chamber. It should be one-on-one. The only way I see her losing is if Rhea screws her over, and that leads to Rhea versus Bianca all the way from this WrestleMania to next WrestleMania. There's no way that they're going to do that match at a SummerSlam. That's a big money match. Has to be at WrestleMania. The two pillars of NXT going at it. Really? This is a three-pillar of NXT match, now that I think about it. Because Io had a successful, just dominant NXT run. Rhea Ripley, similar. And yes, she did. Bianca, the same thing. I don't think Bianca won the NXT championship. She never did. But she was so good that you couldn't deny her. You know what I'm saying? The safe guess is Io. And I hate to do this to Io, but I love Bianca Belair. I'm always rooting for Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair's winning this match. I hope she wins this match. If she doesn't win, it's due to wonkiness. It's due to BS. And it's probably due to Rhea bloody Ripley getting involved and messing things up when I earned it. I worked hard and I earned it. And that's like, oh, you're having fun? Oh, I was having fun too until I lost. So no one can have fun now because I lost and I'm the main character of this show. Everyone watches Raw for me and me and me. No one cares about you or you. They're here to see me. And when I don't have a championship, no one's happy. That's why they're booing you now, because I don't have a belt. I'm the main character, damn it. And when I lose, everybody loses. There is no such thing as fairness. If I was the first person to eat a sandwich, you two can't have a sandwich. It can only be me. It can only be me. Okay? I'm the one who held it the longest. I ate the most sandwiches. Look, I don't know what the sandwich thing has to do with anything, but it meant something to me, all right? Bianca Belair over everything. I stand. I will stay standing for it. And now it's time for the main event. If you've been living under a rock, we talked about this on a podcast, but John Cena turned heel. Turned heel at Elimination Chamber. He aligned himself with The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, and he broke up with us. He is tired of the disrespect that he's gotten over the 25 plus years of his career. You can't wrestle. You only have 5 moves. You still suck. You'll never be this. You've got 16 world championships, but you know what? That doesn't matter. You're not a good person. I don't care if you do Make-A-Wish. I don't care that your movies are good. I don't care. Everything you could think of about why you don't like John Cena, people have been saying it, and he's had enough. And he's finally standing up for himself because he is a human being with feelings. Okay? He is planning to ruin wrestling by winning the 17th championship and put the myth of Ric Flair winning 16 away. And the only name that's synonymous with wrestling now is John Cena. Okay? But he has a fight on his hands because he has to deal with Cody Rhodes. That's right. Cody Rhodes may have lost at one WrestleMania, but he won at the next one. With the biggest win of his career against Roman Reigns and became the quarterback, the good guy, the ultimate baby face, the man who's leading us into the future under the Triple H era, the Paul Levesque era. This may sound harsh, but I like when Cody Rhodes is chasing after a championship. I like when he's the chaser. We only have John Cena for a little bit longer till the end of this year. He's done wrestling after this. And I don't see this WrestleMania being a WrestleMania where he loses. It will be his last, but I don't see him losing at WrestleMania. I think Super Cena is coming to the big dance. He's coming to show up and show out. Super Cena is coming to defeat Cody Rhodes, win the 17th championship of his career, the 17th world title, and go home. And don't come back until he has to come back, which would be at SummerSlam, fighting Cody Rhodes again for the championship. I see a bunch of reasons Cena's not coming to defend this belt. He'll just hold it in abeyance and say, I'll show up when I want to show up because I'm the last real champion. I don't have to show up to work. I earned this. I won. I beat the top guy like I knew I would. I'm going home with it. And over weeks in months. Eventually, Cody's going to hit a nerve and Cena's going to come out and they're going to wrestle at SummerSlam. And maybe that loss to Cody then will knock some sense into Cena. And maybe it's not Cody. Maybe it's someone else. Maybe it's the next guy we're trying to elevate. But if it is Cody, that's going to knock some sense into him. Cena's going to shake his hand. And maybe the remainder of Cena's run is just coming to work, doing all the greatest hits, and he rides off into the sunset. The next time we see John Cena is obviously at the Hall of Fame. That's how I see the story ending. John Cena's beating Cody Rhodes on Sunday. However, if Cody were to win, if Cody did the ultimate heel turn, like John turned and aligns himself with The Rock, but then Cody sells his soul to The Rock, and The Rock screws over Cena, and Cody's now number one bad guy, while Cena said all his true feelings towards the WWE Universe, and this leads to Cena chasing Cody and winning his 17th World Championship at SummerSlam. I doubt that's going to happen, because we don't know what Dwayne's going to do. That's why I feel like the ball is in Cena's court, because Dwayne Johnson can come out there and just screw over Cody and restart the match and restart the match and restart the match. Or The Rock runs in, hits the people's elbow, hits the rock bottom, drags John Cena over to Cody Rhodes. 1, 2, 3, Cena's the world champ, thanks to The Rock. And at the next WrestleMania, you're getting Cody versus The Rock. Then at SummerSlam, you get Cody versus Cena. And Cody wins the championship and puts it back out there and defends it like it should be, instead of it being held in abeyance. I can't see any other outcome where Cena doesn't win this. It's his last WrestleMania. Why not win there? Because the career's not over until December. Cena's got this. And Cody's going to chase and be the best babyface that he can be and make us believe that he can topple The Rock and Cena, a corporation. I do hope that Cody gets to smack the shit out of Travis Scott. I know The Rock told him to do it, but I hope Cody gets to give him a receipt for slapping the shit out of me. Here's a big slap for you. Even if you lose, you do get to slap Travis Scott. That has to be a plus, right? But that's night 2. That will be it. John Cena's leaving with the championship. He's made history. And Cody's going to make history by chasing and getting Cena to come and challenge him one more time. I know I may have said that multiple times, but so, ladies and gentlemen, it has been an hour, maybe an hour plus. Who knows? After the post-production team do whatever they do, this might be an hour plus. I think I did a good job. I'm sure I held your attention. I hope so. Hope you got a good laugh or two out of this. Maybe some insight. Hopefully you watch WrestleMania. Maybe you'll buy a Switch 2. Maybe you'll look up the Willowbrook thing and ruin your week. Don't be mad at me. Hopefully you mind your business. Mind the business that minds you. Okay? Only hold a grudge if you need to. Do not downplay anyone's feelings. That's not cool. You're not being effective at that communication, love. You're not. You're not. Don't do that. That's not it. But I think that covers it. That's it. That's the end of the show, y'all. You know? You take care. You hear me? Take care. Be good out there. Give yourself a try. Love on yourself. Know that you're loved. Love on each other out here in these trying times. Build community. Don't let evil win in a trying time. This is the time to fight. Got to be good to each other. Remember the golden rule. Treat others how you want to be treated. Now, I'm going to go and cook. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Next week, hopefully the whole squad's here. We can chat about whatever happened in the past 2 weeks. You know? And I love you. This is the MCZX, your best friend on the internet that you didn't know you had, the lover boy that never was, and this is Simply Complicated Universe. Thank you for listening. Peace, y'all.